Hello soccer enthusiasts, welcome to another intriguing episode on our channel. Today we're tackling a hot topic, the 10 most controversial rules in football. Now, we all know how the rules of the game can sometimes seem unfair to fans and teams alike, creating a whirlwind of debates in the football community. From the handball rule to the offside rule, there's a lot to discuss. So, are you ready to challenge the status quo? Stay tuned as we delve into these controversial rules and their impact on the beautiful game. Kicking off our list is the often debated handball rule. This rule, which penalizes players for intentionally handling the ball with their hands or arms, has been the subject of many a heated discussion. Now, the reason it's considered unfair by some is due to its subjective nature. It relies heavily on the referee's interpretation of what constitutes an intentional handball. Consider this: a ball is kicked at high speed and hits a player's arm. Was it handball or an unavoidable accident? It's this ambiguity that has led to numerous controversies, with game outcomes hinging on these split-second decisions. Some claim it adds an element of unpredictability, while others argue it disrupts the flow of the game and can unfairly penalize teams. From last-minute penalty kicks awarded due to handballs, to disallowed goals that could have changed the course of a match, the handball rule has certainly left its mark on football history. A rule that is often a game-changer, the handball rule indeed stirs up controversy. Next up is the offside rule, a constant subject of contention. The offside rule, one of football's most complicated and debated regulations, often leaves fans and sometimes even players scratching their heads. The rule states that a player is in an offside position if they're nearer to the opponent's goal line than both the ball and the second-last opponent when the ball is played to them. Sounds simple enough, right? However, the rule becomes a thorn in the side when it comes to determining whether a player is actively involved in play. This has led to countless controversial decisions and some unforgettable moments in football history. Remember that disallowed goal in the World Cup final? Or that crucial league match where the winning goal was ruled offside? Critics argue that the rule disrupts the flow of the game and can crush the spirit of attacking play. Yet it's also a vital tool to prevent goal hanging. No doubt the offside rule can make or break a game. Coming in at number 3 is the away goals rule. Now here's a rule that stirred up quite a bit of controversy. The away goals rule states that if a match ends in a tie, the team that has scored more goals away from home takes the trophy. On the surface, it seems fair enough, right? A way to reward teams for performing under the pressure of an unfamiliar stadium. But let's dig a little deeper. Many argue that this rule can unfairly penalize teams who have put up a good fight but simply had the misfortune of playing the second leg of the match at home. And there have been countless instances where this rule has determined the outcome of a match, sometimes leading to shocking upsets and unexpected exits. The away goals rule, a controversial rule that has shaped countless football matches. Moving on to the next batch of contentious rules, we have 4 more rules to delve into, each with its own set of controversies. First up is the advantage rule. This rule allows the referee to let play continue when a foul is committed, if doing so will benefit the team that has been fouled. However, sometimes this advantage doesn't materialize, leaving the team that has been fouled wishing for the free kick they could have had. It's a tricky one for referees, and a source of frustration for players and fans. Next is the pass-back rule. This rule forbids goalkeepers from picking up the ball if it's deliberately passed back to them by a teammate's foot. Critics argue it disrupts the flow of the game and can lead to unnecessary penalties. Remember when a back pass cost Arsenal a match against Liverpool in the late 90s? That's the kind of incident that fuels the debate. Thirdly, we have the penalty shootout rule. This rule breaks hearts and makes heroes. It's a high-pressure situation that decides matches when a draw isn't an option. But is it fair to place the fate of a team on the shaky shoulders of a few players? Some argue it's a lottery, not a true reflection of a team's performance. Finally, there's the extra time rule. When a match ends in a draw, 30 minutes of extra time are played. But this additional play often sees players battling fatigue rather than each other. Critics argue it's an unfair test of endurance rather than skill, and can lead to injuries. These rules, though integral to the game, have sparked much debate among fans and players alike. As we reach the end of our list, let's look at the final 3 contentious rules. Coming in at number 8, we have the foul throw rule. This rule dictates that both of a player's feet must be on the ground and the ball must be thrown from behind the head when taking a throw-in. While it sounds simple, it's often inconsistently applied, causing confusion and frustration among players and fans alike. Remember that time when a seemingly perfect throw-in was called a foul throw, turning the tide of the game? Our ninth rule is the back pass rule. This rule prohibits goalkeepers from picking up the ball when it's deliberately played back to them by a teammate's foot. Though it was introduced to stop time wasting, it often causes unnecessary penalties when goalkeepers reflexively pick up back passes. This rule has led to many an unexpected goal, and not always in the best way. And finally, at number 10, we have the stoppage time rule. Stoppage time, or injury time, is added at the end of each half to make up for time lost due to stoppages in play. However, the lack of transparency in how this time is calculated often leads to claims of unfairness. It's not uncommon for a team to score a decisive goal in the 93rd minute, leaving the opposition feeling hard done by. These final rules, like the ones before them, have their roots in fairness and keeping the game flowing. Yet, their application can sometimes result in controversial moments that leave fans debating long after the final whistle. The foul throw rule can disrupt the flow of the game, the back pass rule can lead to unjust goals, and the stoppage time rule leaves room for endless debates about stolen victories. But perhaps it's these very debates that keep us hooked: the unpredictability, the drama, the what-if moments. These final rules continue to divide opinion, adding to the drama and unpredictability of the sport. As we wrap up, it's clear that these rules, while controversial, are part of what makes football so unpredictable and exciting. From the handball rule, which can alter the course of a match in a heartbeat, to the offside rule that requires a keen eye and quick decision-making, each rule adds a layer of complexity to the game. We then explored the away goals rule, a rule that can turn the tables in a two-legged tie, making each away goal a precious commodity. Further, we delved into rules 4 through 7, highlighting how these regulations can sometimes seem unfair, but are in fact vital to maintaining the flow and integrity of the game. Moving on to rules 8 to 10, we saw how these rules, while seemingly minor, can have major impacts on a match's outcome. They can make or break a team's strategy, adding another level of suspense to each game. In essence, while these rules may be seen as unfair, they are integral to the game. They introduce unpredictability, excitement, and a strategic depth that makes football the beautiful game we all love. They challenge teams to adapt, think on their feet, and showcase their skills under varying circumstances. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed our discussion, please hit the like button and subscribe for more intriguing football content. Until next time, stay passionate about the beautiful game.